And I am now live right at 8 o'clock. And guess what? I got my ears on already. That's right, folks. It's another Wednesday here at the SOS. It's your host, Tenzin. And here we are going to interview Renee The G. Renee The G is a young black woman with dreadlocks, as you may call them. Oh, hello. Excuse me, I just burped in your ear. I'm sorry. We got Folk Los and Trudy in the building. But anyway, yeah, she's a young black chick with locks, as they call them. And I call her a siren when I see her live, to be honest with you. Like, she literally sounds just like the songs. All right, we got the squids up, and IG's talking about, we're telling your followers that you've started a live video. Thank you. Thank you, Zuckerberg. You're truly amaze balls. But anyway, let me send this to her. I saw that she started a live herself. I'm going to just send that her way. So, but I'm very excited for this interview. I'm going to repeat this to her once she gets on. But she's like the first local artist that I actually became a fan of. Yeah, real spit. Every show I went to, she always wowed me, I don't think I saw her with her band, though. But, yeah, I still got to experience that. Anyway, as we wait on her, let's see what's been going on. So apparently we had Haitian asylum seekers getting whipped by our border patrol. Ain't that some shit? I didn't even know that border patrol agents even were equipped with whips. I mean, is that part of their standard gadget belt or what? I don't know. That's crazy. Do a flip. Ah, man, I wish I could do a flip. See, I couldn't even do a flip back when I was a wrestler, and that was like my most athletic peak. But but I heard Folk Los can flip bars. Heyo. Anyway, it's funny. Renee The G usually brags about being on time. Hold on now. This is as we wait on our guests. She said that at a live performance once. She said, "I make music for the people who show up on time." 2 minutes, 3 minutes late, sister. That's okay. You're black. But anyway, what's been going on in my life? I've been keeping up with the L word. Yeah, Generation Q. Yeah, it's basically a continuation from the original series. I got into that series because I was like, holy hell, this is a show about women having sex with each other. But, as I started that show for pervy reasons, I realized I actually care about these chicks' lives. So I got invested into the show, and I watched, 5, maybe, I think 6 seasons of the original. And yeah, they just made some new episodes, which, like I said, is a continuation. I think it's like a 9-year time skip. And, they introduced new characters. But the sex scenes aren't as graphic as the original, though, so that's kind of a disappointment. But yeah, this show is just really fucking gay, in a good and a mocking way. And when I say gay, I just mean like, holy hell. I mean, I get it. Like, it's a show about lesbians, but it's like they just like mark off like the checklist of like queer stuff, like. It's like, we gotta have a trans person, we gotta have lesbians, we're gonna have gay men, and it's very diverse. That's what I mean. It's like, it's just so like, you could tell that like, I don't know, like some young Twitter millennial like is writing the scripts now. You know what I mean? Cause what they like had a. It's not funny because I guess it's like an advance, but You guys made fun of me the last show where I said I showed an interest in a paraplegic person, but on the L Word Generation Q, they actually showed a sex scene with a paraplegic person, and it wasn't a joke. That's right, folks. The paraplegic people got legit sex scenes in the house now. Oh, hey, it's Renee the fucking G. Did I accept it? I think I accepted it. Hello?
Hey, what are you in here talking about?
Oh, I just ramble when I wait on my guests. Oh, Renee, damn it. I remember. You said, I make music for the people who show up on time. What the fuck is this?
Well, if you would see the people that are actually tuning in, they can actually vouch for me. We were actually waiting for you to send a message, I guess, over in my live. I was getting ready for you and getting everybody together. So I was actually 4 minutes early. I just
Oh,
yeah,
so
so
you
I
was you
that's
was
why
getting the band together.
yeah, well, I just wanted to make sure that, I brought people over to the space
Oh.
on time. So, they knew where they were going. So yeah, that was my mistake. I actually had to come over here and log in to my Instagram on the computer over here so I could, get on there. So
All right.
yeah, so, I could see your message and see that you were online, but yeah.
Well, thanks for bringing the flock. We're
Well,
all in it together for Jesus Christ anyway. Send your donations to the SOS Foundation. But Renee, just a little fun question, because I asked you this question before, but I totally forgot what you said. So
and
on
it
your
was so
cover,
long ago, so I'm sure.
yeah, on your cover of that Drake song, like you had a rap part. You said something. You was like, "I don't care what she do." Some
I don't
people.
care what she do. Couldn't fit her dollars through a peephole. We've been doing this thing since back in the day when earrings weren't even real gold. Noise in the back sound like
Oh,
seagulls on a keyboard edge and a regal. So shout out to keyboard and my people that are watching over there from Padawan, Cliffwood,
and
etc.
see, like, and if I forget again, see, I'll have a recording of it, so I'll be like, "Oh man, what was that?" Because yeah, like every time, like I would listen to it and just be like, "I don't get it." But yeah, Renee, as I said in my introduction, like you were the first local act that I personally became a fan of. Honestly,
Oh, awesome. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
man. I don't know. It's like I've listened to you sing, and like, first of all, I didn't even know you did music. Like, Hustle and Flow had to tell me you did music. I didn't
Right.
know. I thought you was a manager. Because you did do that though, right?
No, not necessarily managed, but I've worked in like media and publicity. So a lot of times I've done branding with people, working with, and a lot of times, people don't have managers, and like just as myself right now. So, a lot of times just because you don't have a manager doesn't mean that you don't need help. And that's usually where I come in. I don't really have the time, I think, or I don't know about the patience, but I can't see myself at this moment like managing another person like
Right.
outside of a work, scenario.
But yeah, so like the whole time, like, because I remember when I think I first met you back in 2014, because like it's been a long time since I've been to frat house recording, and I remember I was like, "Hey, is frat house still open?" And you was like, "Sure, but it's downtown now," and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck, shit." And then I was like, "Hey, where's Hustle and Flow?" And you didn't
Yeah,
want to talk about it,
that yeah.
but but the thing was, like, I thought you were his sibling at first. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. I guess this is the home of uh,
Yeah, we
frat
had we
house
had a
now.
quick we had a brief relocation to the Omen Agency downtown.
Omen Agency, that's what it was
Yes,
called.
correct, yes.
Does
So
Max
I
still work
actually helped.
there?
Excuse me.
Does Max still work there? I think that was his name.
I don't. It is no longer the Omen Agency.
Oh, okay.
It is
Shoot.
called The Office. OG Pie. You know what? Have you ever heard of the OG Talk podcast with Parlay from the Franchise Boys?
I have not.
All right. Well, they're actually an up and coming podcast as well. They have actually a really great following and they interview a lot of artists. But OG Pie, who's the other half of that, is actually the owner there now. So the studio is still there. I'm not quite sure exactly how the business model is at the moment, but the Omen agency is not there anymore. So,
Oh, well, okay. RIP to the Omen Agency. Now, what
yeah,
were you about to say before you answer that question?
I don't know. What was I going to say?
Oh, well, anyway, well, back to my story.
Yes, back to your story. This is the SOS podcast.
I know, right? So anyway, like so I first met you, I was like, okay, this is a nice looking young lady. All right, she looks like one of those like annoying vegan girls, but um, but then I saw you eat fish, and I was like, oh, okay. So like at first I thought you were Mac's girlfriend, so I was like, hey Mac, is that you, buddy? He was like, nah, man. Oh, okay. Is that your family member? It's like, nah, man. Okay, but no, like, I thought you was Hustle and Flow's family member.
Yeah, I know.
So
You were asking all the questions, and they were telling me too.
of course they were. God damn.
They're like, this guy's asking these questions. And I'm like, oh, like, it's cool.
So fast forward, we're back. I'm back at the original frat house in
Uh-huh.
Cobb County, and so this is going to be very awkward, but I have to be vulnerable for my audience. So I was asking Hustle and Flow, so hey, is your sister seeing anybody? And the thing was, like, he did have a sister, right? So he was like, I don't know. I was like, would you mind if I hit on her? I mean, he was like, she lives in Ohio. I was like, Renee's not your sister? He's like, that's my woman. I was like, oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know. But anyway. But anyway, shout out to Renee the G.
Thank you very much. And all of my, you just like saw a weird other side. Like it's interesting, different points that you were like have been around. And it's just like the other things that were going on the other side of life. Like while you were like there and that was happening, just the journey that I've been on. It's quite interesting. So.
Right. And speaking of journey, I heard you're not originally from here. You're from New Jersey.
I am from New Jersey. Shout out to all my Jersey girls and guys also in the building in the comment section. Yes, Mr. Drum, it was awkward. It was awkward because we're talking about my ex-boyfriend. So,
Oh no.
that was awkward. That's why he's like, I'm just reading the comments. It's hilarious to me. But yeah, I am
Um,
from New Jersey. And then I went to school in New York at St. John's. And then I came here to Atlanta.
and you know
And then
what?
from there, I traveled.
And I was gonna ask. I wanted to ask you. So, what made you choose Atlanta? Why not the NYC music scene? Like, did you just see something in Atlanta, or was Atlanta already like a mecca by the time you made that decision?
Okay, see, here's the thing. I wasn't in like really serious about music until I got here to Atlanta. And actually, like when I first got here, I just wanted to get away. It just got to the point where I was in like the middle of Times Square and the bus driver opens up the door and is like, "What's up, Renee?" Or I would go to Atlantic City and I'm in the middle of the casino and I see the guy that I had a crush on in elementary school. It was like, this is way too small. I'm in the club with like people I went to work with, elementary
Excuse me.
school and college. Like, I just had to get out of there. Even if it's a big city to others, it just got really small to me. And my cousin lived here, and I was visiting since I was about 16 years old, off and on. So I got a chance to really see Atlanta and just really fall in love with it just over time as I got older. And one of the things that I said was once I got out of school, I already had this plan that I was gonna like get a job, transfer, and like be able to come to Atlanta. And that's pretty much what I did. And then, like I said, I didn't really get into the music industry until I was working with this guy, pretty much this promotional agency called Rep One, just to give credit where credit's due. And one of the guys' name is Jahan. He ended up managing some artists I think one of them he ended up working with, I think I met through him, was like Melage, you know, a Trickin' If You Got It thing. And then
Hmm.
also One Chance, which is a group from Chicago, which he's, you know, from Chicago as well. One Chance ended up getting signed by T-Pain, and he
Yeah.
ended up becoming T-Pain's manager. So throughout this process, I remember going to his house and going to T-Pain's house, mind you,
Oh,
getting invited. I go over there, and I seen this artist, and I'm not gonna say exactly, but I mean, and it's over time, just other artists, and it seemed like it was like you're trying to make it happen. You're trying to make fetch happen. This person might have some type of kind of look because at the time, you know, everyone wanted to do like pop type of stuff.
yeah.
You know, so you know what pop means when you look at it. So people have a certain look, or let's just say, you know, somebody, yeah, and they'll just get somebody who, you know, that's cute, and there'll be a songwriter and a producer or what have you, and they just do everything for them, and they just make them into whatever they wanted them to be.
Yeah.
And I just started to look around and say, I already had those talents. I was already doing that. I was already performing, and just in just my small open mic, regular, how college kids do things. Like I didn't have like a record label or a studio that I recorded out of. I went to church. I performed in school. I performed at open mics when I got into college. Like, so it's just like, you know, at that point, once I got here and I started to see like, wow, I can do all this stuff. I have a personality. I'm interested in the music industry. I went to school for PR and event planning, I guess by design in my own dream world. And you know, that's what really started it. You know, I started asking around for, oh, this is funny. So I started asking around for studios. I knew this other guy who worked at a pretty named studio at the time. It's not there anymore.
Oh,
And I asked,
you in these dead studios, man.
well, Atlanta in these dead studios. You know, it's not me, it's the industry, you know, and
Hmm.
people can jump up and put a studio out, but I mean, unfortunately the studio that I'm talking about was actually on Spring Street, and if you ever know, that studio that's on Spring Street has a lot of things that happen around it, so
Hmm.
that's inevitably, I'm sure, kind of the same route. I don't know, but I asked about it. There were a lot of big people there: Lex Luger, Waka Flocka, I mean, I believe Keisha Cole, a lot of cool people that I actually saw there. Um, and I guess I wasn't thinking about it, and I just asked how much studio time was, and the guy told me 125 an hour.
Jesus Christ.
I was hurt. I was offended, and I said, "F it, I'll do it myself." I looked on Craigslist, and guess who I found? Hustle and Flow.
Hey.
That's pretty much how that happened. So yeah, that's
All
that's how I
right.
got. That's how I started doing music here, and I recorded my first song 2010.
And what was it?
It was a song called Mine. It's actually still out. It's out there.
Mine. Not to be confused with the Your Mind track, but it was a
No,
different
that's He's
one. Okay.
Mine. That's
Okay,
He's Mine.
he's mine.
But
He's
no,
mine.
this is Mine. Um, yeah, this is my. I think Mine, and I recorded 3 songs. I recorded Mine, this other song Through With You, which was not good. Um, and I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good for me. And then
Right.
the third one was. I think it's like because I'm a winner or something. And I did
Okay.
it with one of my friends who like never, he said, and I'm pretty sure till this day, I don't know, but he said like that was like his first song that he ever rapped on. And it was like one of the few, like years later, he was like, man, that was like the first time, the one
Oh
song I
yeah.
ever got in the booth and that shit, you know. So, but yeah,
Oh. Well, hey, there you go.
yeah. And they let me extend my time because I think they thought that I was good. So that was cool too. Either that, or
Well.
the engineer was being real slow, and it wasn't hustling low. So.
Well, all right then, man. Shout out to Hustle and Flow for giving you your first tracks.
No,
Produce.
no, he didn't.
Well, I mean,
He recorded my
engineering
first.
them.
He's an
Yeah, 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 yeah.
engineer.
Yeah,
My
that's what I
first,
mean. Yeah.
the first producer. His name is T White, and he's
T
part of the
White.
Swim team. He's actually doing very, very well in the sync licensing area in New York and stuff like that. So major props to him for actually giving me those tracks. And the first one I bought for $25 at a beat auction. So that's how we actually connected.
How do those work?
That was the first one I ever went to, and I heard that sample, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" Okay, it was at Union. It was my first time ever going to Union. And I went there, I heard the sound, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I like went right over to him and I was like, I need that track. And he like charged me 25 because it was definitely a sample on it and stuff. But like,
Yeah,
yeah. And that was like pretty much after that. I met up with him to get that one and I was like, yo, what other songs do you have? Like, is there anything else you can, like look out for? And he sent me a couple other ones. And then, like I said, we were friends. So every now and then, like through the years, like I would see him. So some years ago, I saw him at like, he did a show at the YouTube studios in New York. So I like randomly saw him on a train in Brooklyn and he invited me out. So that
yeah.
was really, yeah, it was cool.
Well, all right, man. Shout out to that
That's how
dude.
small New York is.
That's crazy. You like blowing my mind by saying like I don't know, like but like you said, it's a big city to me, but to you it's like dense. All
It's like,
right. So so anywho, like I guess like your time, like I guess like your studies and like the what'd you say, like PR and marketing?
yes, I went to school. My broad communications focus was PR and event planning.
Okay, so like so obviously that gives you an edge with the music thing because you can play in your own shows. And how's that been working for you?
Um, it's been going. It's been going good. I'll say as of recently, what's been really cool. Okay, planning your own shows is a lot of work.
Of course.
I don't like to plan anything with less than at least a month of promotion. So when I was doing my own shows, I spent a lot of money myself.
Hmm.
I made some money back, but it wasn't a lot because of how much money I had to put into it myself with booking bands, DJ, venue, merch, food, whatever the experience is. And that's just the thing about it. Like, I want my people to come, have a great time, sit, have food, enjoy, vibe out, smoke if you want to, drink, whatever.
Oh
And
yeah, she
just,
definitely supplies the wacky tobacco at her
yeah.
shows.
Yeah, so
In
that's
video
my
games, of
thing.
course, on GTA 5. And you know, speaking of which, darn, what was that show? Oh man, I think it was like I want to say at least 3 years ago. I met that actress there. Her name was Naomi. What was
Her
her?
name is Naomi. It was at this like
Because like
art
there was a
gallery.
yeah, because there was another event going on. Because while I was looking for your thing, I guess like I like accidentally like walked into this like little event where I guess artists was playing music for each other, and that's where I met Ashley. Ashley, and I was like, oh,
Okay.
okay, that was random. But then I was like, do you guys know where? I didn't know who Ashley was, so
I
I'm
didn't
pretty
either
sure.
at that
But
time though.
so I was like, hey, do you guys know where the Renee the G show is? And I just like, and I was like, okay, and I
Yeah, because that wasn't
just.
actually that. You know what? I'm thinking back. That wasn't even my show. That was the MF and editor. Her name is Keisha. She had like her own event that she did. So I was actually a part of that show.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't that one. It was actually one of yours. I
Okay,
know
so
what you're talking about.
wait.
It, it wasn't Sapio. It wasn't Sapio
Okay, it wasn't Sapio.
because that's where I discovered Dope Diana. But anyway, uh,
Ah,
oh, it was at some event because like I remember like the Ashley thing was happening at the same time. But like it was like when Peace of Mind came out.
are we talking about Peter Street Station?
I think so.
It has to be because that's where I did my little peace of mind pop up. I was one of the first events to actually do one at. Good night, Trinity. Have a good night. It's my little cousin.
Oh, my little cousin. How old is little cousin?
Yeah, she's good. Yeah, I was one of the first events to happen before they actually opened up officially. So,
Okay, oh, so you was like one of the first official events.
yep.
So like so what was the budget of of throwing that, if you remember?
Um, I'll say that that one was less expensive than my Smith's Old Bar show. I'll probably say that only because I I made my money back more so or a good amount with merch.
Mm,
But at the yeah, it was a lot of like cool things that I was able to do. Of course, I paid for the venue, but I don't think it was that much at the time because of the relationship and the timing of it all, which I'm so blessed about. I was already collecting the merch, so the merch was kind of like a, if you sell merch, you get your money back, so it'll work out. Um, my DJ was DJ E Boogie. I did the silent party thing. It was less than 1,000.
okay, that's good to hear. But you know what? Like,
But it's not. It's going to be more than a couple hundred. You have to think about it. If you're at
mhm.
least, I mean, you got to think DJs today. I mean, they want their money,
Oh
And
yeah, for
I'm not
sure.
saying like one of my friends, like even if I were to look out, like it's definitely not going to be less than 100. So
Right.
already with that, you already know the venue is going to be at least 250. I had food from Fox's Jamaican restaurant. I know that was, I don't know, at least 60, 75, maybe $100. Like, so already you're just thinking with something. I had, had headphones, the headphone party. I think I probably maybe got a discount at $5 a headphone, So, right
I
there,
mean, that
it's
probably
like,
went a long way at $5 a headphone.
it was cool. They're great concepts that I wanted to happen. I was able to have two channels, one playing my album, one playing like a mix from my DJ that actually had, music of mine in it as well. So it was great. Like I don't regret any of the shows that I did. I don't regret any of the money that I spent, or any of that. It was there. It was a great experience. People loved it. I think more people, like I said, came out to the Smith's Old Bar show where I probably spent more money, maybe. But a lot of really cool tastemakers came out to
Hmm.
that Peter Street Art Station one, like a Chilio and a couple of the people that used to work for like The Beat, Miranda the Man, K100, Blizzum, Lurch. It was really cool, like I said, to especially see the guys really come out and support. Straight Out the Den came out with his wife, I believe. So it was really cool to see a lot of the media people like show up and really
Yeah,
support.
man, people was really showing you love that night.
Yeah, yeah. So it's cool. But like I said, as of recent, I haven't. I had the pleasure of working with Artemis, Are We Human, pretty much productions, and they actually did a highlights for me at another space on 555 Whitehall Street. I believe it's a speakeasy lounge. But that was
Hmm.
cool because
Okay.
he organized everything. I really just kind of helped with like the visual look of the flyer, and just showed up as an artist. He paired me up with the human DJ who's super talented that I was able to perform with. And yeah, so I like that. It was really cool. We were able just to split cost as it was supposed to, as
Of course.
necessary. But yeah, it was a cool partnership. So I'm definitely looking forward to just more things like that.
Man, you know what? And I have to say, like, your power to network is like phenomenal because, my thing is like, you may not have like a lot of numbers, like, digitally, right? But
Right.
in real life, you're the fucking man. Not well, not the man. God damn it,
I got you. I
you're
got
the
you.
you're the woman. You know what I mean? Because you're going to England, you're going to Uruguay, fucking Uruguay. The
Yeah,
fuck?
that was
Like,
crazy. That was
you know what I
crazy.
mean? But man, it's just you just can't stress enough how important being able to talk to people and network with them is because you got all these opportunities, like all these folks, like just I don't know, like are you just naturally like social? Because I just go to things like, hey, how you doing? You
Well,
know.
it's funny that you should say that because I actually have been starting to work on some content and stuff. So I'm actually currently working on a book about networking.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, one, I'll say that I'm sure there's something obviously in my personality that allows me to network. However, it is about strategic networking as well. So it's like a half and half. And when you are, you have to think. I came up in public relations. So, one thing that you have to do is know about, pitching your client who's who, just in general. You have to know who's who. And you can't know who's who unless you're studying and you're getting out, and of course, once you study, getting out there. Before I even came to Atlanta, I remember studying women executives and people in Atlanta, and I saw a woman named Nicole Garner, who had the Garner Circle PR, and she's gone on to do some really amazing things, and music executive Shanti Das, and then from there, I literally found out about some events that they were doing when I was working in the media, and I went. And after that, like anytime there was an event or somebody else that was on that panel, or I would follow them, and I would just keep moving and kind of staying in the circles that you really want to be in. And a lot of times that's really just it. If you say, hey, I want to meet this person, okay, well, now it's social media. I mean, we were just had Instagram. Just Instagram like just came out like around that time. So it's like, for me, you see half of these people, if you look at their tagged photos, you see what events they're hosting at, they're a panel on, whatever. We didn't have Instagram Live. So it's just pull up
Right.
and introduce yourself. And even if you don't have anything to offer at that moment, just introduce yourself. You don't have to do the weird, hey, and give this long, drawn out story. Like, people don't care about that. But I remember Ray Daniels saying, I went to this patchwork workshop, which definitely helps. Going to industry events
Yeah, I
helps.
went to one of those.
Yes.
He was the host.
Okay. So before I became a host of the events, I actually went. And I went to one of the events, and I remember Ray Daniels talking and him being so brutally honest about a lot of stuff and talking numbers and deals. And I was like, I like this guy. He's giving me something I can work with. And I remember him saying, I don't know if it was then or another time later, but he said, you're in the right place if I see you 3 times. If I see you 3 times, then at that point, I'm probably going to look at you and be like, hey, who are you? What are you doing? And of course, eventually I went on to obviously see him 3 times. Not saying like that's the thing, but I
Right.
mean, even the same, like it was like, I remember the third time I literally saw him was daytime at the Artist Factory studio. So now you have to think, here's this girl, she's out here just, she's in the industry. She's here at a studio in the middle of the day during the weekday. Who is she? What are you doing here? And I
Right.
think a lot of times when we put ourselves in great situations or great positions, after a while people just want to know who you are. It's just about the work that helps build that name. And even if, for instance, it's funny that you mentioned, just the social media numbers, because you're right. My numbers aren't crazy, but they're also not inflated. I've never bought any numbers. Well, maybe back when Dat Piff was going on, but anyway. But like
Oh, you
outside
bought
of
that
that,
piff
yeah.
number.
Look, come on. It was like
I didn't even
I
know you
never.
had anything on that piff.
Yeah, yeah. I got my first. I want to say Renee Gardner presents Hip Hop Soul.
Was that the?
That's not the groove tape. That came
Oh,
before the
okay,
groove
okay,
tape.
okay. Yeah, I was
Because
gonna say,
that's
is that
why.
the one with the Wonder Hood on it?
No, no,
Okay.
no,
He said no.
no. I was. Look, this was like. I don't even think this was like probably the second project. The first one probably only made it to CDs, where I typed out the listing and just put it in like a blank CD thing, and I handed it out at one music fest.
Hey man, we got to start somewhere.
I don't. Oh God, we did not know. We did not know,
Hey, but
but
but hey, bro, like it's funny, like seeing both sides of it. Cause,
yeah,
well, I wasn't that disrespectful fan who will like throw your CD in the trash in front of you, but like I remember like going to A3C, I just always had a backpack because I knew I was going like niggas were gonna hand me their CDs and shit. Like I know I'm not gonna listen to them, but I just keep them, like But now it's like on the other side of it, it's like, damn man, it's just as long as y'all hear the shit, like.
yeah. And see, for me, I think, like you said, I think my background in communications and just, I don't want to say common sense, but maybe it's that up top common sense. It's like, look,
Yeah,
if
you had
they're
like a
not looking at you, like you got to think of it like, I hate to be like this, but if you were somebody on the street, if they're not looking at you or they're avoiding eye contact, just keep going. It's when,
yeah.
for me, it was just the fact that, I was talking to people, and then a lot of times I always get the, oh, you look like an artist. Oh, what do you do? Or, like you said, I knew people still even out there. So it was just a matter of me saying, hey, look, I'm going out here. I think I was interning with Rolling Out, and I was out there. I only had to like do like a couple hours or something, and then after that, I went to go hang out with my friends, my older friends in the VIP area, and then like handed out my CD. And actually, no, that wasn't her thing. That was somebody else. But they're the cool kids. I think that's who I
Right.
saw. But yeah, so that was like pretty much it. It was interesting times. But like I said, it's just I knew not to bug people or do anything crazy. I never did the spammy type of stuff or like anything like that. Like I said, there is a way to reach a market. There is a way to reach your fans and people that really care about you. I think without essentially just paying for a bunch of things. Like I'll say
Mm.
this. If you see me and all of a sudden out of nowhere and like with unexplained an extra 10,000 followers and a blue check, like bet there's somebody behind, working, like
Yeah,
there's something amazing
there's
coming,
some oil in the machine,
Exactly, absolutely. But just even still in the meantime, like I said, I'd like my organic following because I can see the real numbers. I see who's really watching. It's not a bunch of random like Israeli names or whatever. It's like, it's like
What
I
why
like
why
that.
why Israeli? Are you some sort of a anti-Semite?
Don't do that. Okay.
Just kidding. But nah, but and and that's the thing I like about your shows, like they be so intimate, you know what I mean? Like so and it's like everybody you can tell that everybody is there for you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like that energy rubs off on you, then you return that energy back to us, and it's like a better performance, and it's like amazeballs. So anywho,
Yeah, I've just done enough shows with like too many like showcases where like you said I have someone like you or another person that like people that really support me. And to give you one song or two, maybe a one and a half of a song or, things like that. I just didn't like that idea of it. Like you sit there, you spend all night sitting there waiting for me to perform. You bought a ticket, you bought a drink, you did all this stuff. And then, you don't even get everything that you wanted. And everybody might, like, some people want the same song, but every now and then you get someone like you who's like, yo, remember that song back then? Remember work in the morning? Remember that? And I want to be able to provide a great experience for anybody that supports me. So if it made a difference in saying, look, let me do my own shows where I know I can have, look, we're just going to plan an hour out, we're going to flow with the band, and that's going to be it. And that way I can focus on the people who I like and creating a great experience. Then that's just what I need to do.
but I will say the one showcase where I actually enjoyed you in was I think it was the bar exam with Mike Slick and
Wait, are you talking about where I only did that bar exam once, unless you're talking about the freestyle thing, the
yeah, the
freestyle thing?
freestyle.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah,
was
but that
like, the
was
bar
that was
exam was terrible when I tried to. I only reason I ever did the bar exam that one time, I'm not gonna lie, was because they told me it was just a lot going on with the whole A3C thing, and I was just trying to get in where I fit in, and
yeah.
I really should have not freestyled. That was the problem. I freestyled, and if I didn't freestyle and I would have bought some of my bars, I would have crushed that dude. But anyway,
Yeah,
anyway,
because it was because I think Lyrical Preacher ended up winning that whole
I would have
thing,
crushed
but
him. I don't even know him, but I already
man.
know I would have crushed him. If I would have been prepared, they would have went crazy. They'd have like, wow, I didn't expect that.
But nah, but it was a dope show, man. I got to see you attempt to go off the dome, which you had like you got at least 4 bars out before you like lost track, and
Because I was just making it up.
exactly that's what freestyle it is. So at least you was being authentic, you weren't remembering shit,
Yes,
which that's
absolutely.
still a freestyle, to all my hip hop purists out there.
But yeah,
But it was a dope
thank
show,
you.
man, and also I just wanted to say, like, obviously, like, I wanted to ask you, Peace of Mind, the
Yes.
album. So what was like, I guess like when making this album, what was you going for?
When I was making this album, I wanted to make sure that this album, okay, the last projects that I had favorite songs. And if you would have ever played this, if I would have ever played the album for you, and let's just say we were just sitting there chilling, I would have probably skipped a song here, went to this song, went to that
Oh,
song.
okay.
And I said this time around, I want to, if I'm going to be able to push myself as an artist and as a product and have a platform, I need to have a product in an album or a project that I'm
You're proud of.
absolutely 100 behind, where I
Yeah.
don't have to say listen to this song, listen to that one. Of course I can, depending, if let's just say we're in a conversation and you say something, I go, oh hey, listen to that first. But really ultimately just start at the beginning, really,
Yeah.
and that was really it. It just, I took time to work on the songs, to perform the songs. There were some songs, to ask, and see what people liked. So many people asked to remix Rodeo, and I'm like, guys, I haven't even recorded this song yet, and you guys are asking me to remix it. And just certain songs that hit: Worry, Peace of Mind. Like my little cousins kept telling me about He's Mine all the time, and
Mm.
they actually had me sing it when I saw them in New Jersey. And so it was just one of those where I had a chance to like literally take time to just do something and not feel like I had to rush, or because it was just a different situation, even with studio times and things of that
Oh
nature.
man,
Like I said,
speaking of studio, man, shout out to singers because I went and watched a group of singers at a studio session, and that's a lot harder than rapping, bro. Like it's like so much shit they got to think about. Like
yeah.
you know, like luckily they were cool with the engineer, but dang, imagine being on the clock and you had to make an R&B song. Good
Well,
lord.
well, see, for me, that's why I don't just go to the studio and just try to make something up. Usually if it's me and my money and I got to go to the studio, or
Hmm.
anybody that I'm working with, that obviously being considerate of a budget, you have to get your tracks, think, practice, write, practice, and think of some ad libs before you even get there. And then,
Hmm.
so when you get there, you're not spending that much time. It might take maybe an hour, hour and a half, and then, whatever they have to do on their end. But yeah, I
Yeah.
never want to go in unprepared. But I will say, when I had the opportunity to work at Tree Sound, for, I want to say, a few years right before the pandemic hit, it was a great experience actually being there with so many women and being able to create with other producers like Star Baby. And that was, yeah, that was just a really cool experience to be able to just chill in a studio and not be pressed for time and create. Because I want to say in about a week I probably like was either featured on and like recorded about 18 songs. So
Oh, dang.
in the
In a
mix of
week?
hundreds of other girls being there, so that was cool.
Jesus Christ, man, y'all was grinding.
Yeah.
So, what was some of your favorite tracks to work on from Peace of Mind?
My favorite track to work on. Well, the fact that I was literally writing Peace of Mind in Costa Rica was pretty lit. I'm
Man,
not gonna lie.
just flex on us, like, yeah, I wrote this song in Costa Rica, motherfucker.
So but seriously, that was like, that was really cool because that was the final song. Like
Oh, okay.
I knew that I needed a song, um, like a final, like concluding piece of it. And I don't know if I knew it had to be called Peace of Mind. Maybe I did innately, like knew it had to be that, but I knew I needed one more song. Like it was just like I needed another song. It just wasn't complete to me. And like I said, it was just going through some things in life. Just so happens it was like, when you ever have like the worst moment ever, and then all of a sudden you just have like the greatest moment ever. It's like, oh
Hmm.
my God, this is why this happened. And that's where I was. I was just like, life was just not feeling good. And then it was like within about, not even, I don't even know if it was like an hour later, I was just getting that call from Nisha Nice, like, yo, what are you doing? You want to come? Like
Shout out
in
to
2 days?
Nisa. Shout out to Nisa Nice. I heard she had a track on Euphoria.
Yes,
Shout out to
absolutely.
her.
Oh
I
man,
did
thank
not
you
know
for
what the track
everything.
was because I never heard her music before. So
She's got a bunch of tracks. I can't at this point. The only thing I could think of is her. She just had a recent single. She has her project out now, but yeah, a single called with her single titled
well,
Mimosa.
actually,
Mimosa.
I lied. I seen her perform at Takeoff before. Never mind. Yeah, yeah, she has that hat thing. Yeah.
She does
Okay.
wear hat things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what made you choose the cover? Like what like why a beach scene? Like why not like a 1920s club scene like or anything like
First of all, I don't know any black people that were finding peace in 1920s.
that? I
No,
mean, you know, I'm pretty sure
I'm
Duke
messing.
Ellington was on the
I'm
stage.
messing
Like
around.
I
However,
know.
you know what it was? That's where I was finding my peace. I mean, of course, since the pandemic changed, it's whatever. But I felt like the beach is the one place just over the years, even when I was broke, whether I had money, whether we were like in Panama City or Punta del Este, Uruguay. Like, you know
Oh
what I'm
my
saying? It
gosh,
was
he even
just
said
like,
it in perfect Spanish. Just
it's like, you just,
just show off.
I would feel weird saying it. Like, I don't know. Oh no, it's weird. But even still, just with that, it's like the beach is always such a beautiful place. And a lot of times it's the one place where your phone either doesn't work or it's going to overheat when it's in the sun too
Mhm.
long. And you can just release and relax. And I mean, that was just the one place that I absolutely loved. And I actually took that picture in Panama City, which is like literally where like I used to just go and just literally get a place and just cook good food and like just relax. Like nothing crazy, no big clubs or any of that stuff, just to release and find peace of mind, even in a time that you don't know how you can find it. I mean, even coincidentally, I remember during that time, around that studio time, I remember taking the mega bus to Miami to see a friend, $40, and just being there and just enjoying, like, oh my god, I'm finally like just releasing, I'm on a beach, it's cool. And then I remember even just getting a message from the media company I was working with, like, hey, we don't even need you right now or anymore. So, and it's just even through those things, like just the finding peace in those moments. That's why I have songs about like industry politics and starting it off on the rodeo and, things like that, or in the end, because yeah, there are great times and there are sometimes not so great times, but it's just finding your peace through all of that. So,
You know what? I do feel you on that beach thing because I recently went to Savannah. And, yeah, it's something about the beach, bro. Like, no matter what you going through, you just feel that breeze and you're just like,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what? I'm content.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I can't wait to get back to the beach. Unfortunately, my new favorite spot, they literally said that they're like they would appreciate it if we just stayed out. So,
Oh, okay. Well, that's to my Uruguay or
no, Uruguay is quite expensive to go to, sir. But Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico
oh,
is
Puerto
great.
Rico.
Yeah,
Oh
it's a
yeah, I
great
heard that.
affordable trip. I would say it's for me. It's even more affordable than going to Miami if
Mm,
you're not driving there.
right. Okay, and like and the visuals you had for the album, like that was like my favorite thing. Shout out to the cameraman, like had you looking great. Like all your videos, like your skin was just looking wonderful, especially in the sun. Like
Man, thank you so much. That was one thing I'll say I was probably concerned about it the most because um, I haven't done, obviously, you can see I don't do a lot of videos.
right.
So, like you said, thank you for it's like, making sure that, of course, the lighting is right and stuff, especially for somebody like me who doesn't wear a lot of makeup. It does, it is it was a difficult thing to get over, you know? I think just being used and happy with yourself. I mean, I was happy with
Hmm.
myself, but it was like
Right. Yeah. It's just
seeing
awkward in
myself
the
on
camera.
video and being
Right.
comfortable and happy with that. And I think I'm still probably getting there and getting to that point. But a
So
lot of things, it's also because social media and people that like these social media professionals like have made it like I don't want to say hard, but it made you have to work. And like,
Hmm.
even for me, like, obviously you see, like, I'm here at Access Replay. I'm so grateful. This isn't, this is my job. But
Right.
even just to be able to work with a company who is into content, who, gives a great, cool space where I can, do interviews and things of that nature. Those things are important to me. And I was so confident and excited to do this interview because, even through
Really?
the well, you got to think about it. I'm just in a different place right now. I probably haven't done any interviews really since the pandemic. When I did, I was in my house. I didn't really like it was cool, but it
You're a
was like
boosting my
the
head.
internet's weird. It was just a lot of things with that. It was just kind of like, nah. It was a great experience. The girl was great. I loved her. I loved the interview. But for me, and I was telling my intern this, I was like, it's weird because it's one of those where I wanted to make sure it looks good because I wanted to save it. And last time, it wasn't anything wrong with her interview, but it was one of those that I didn't want to save. And it had nothing to do with
Mm,
her. It was just, well, one, I was having difficulty saving it. But also, it was just a lot going on. And it was like, okay, maybe the audio, but not this. And like I just
mm.
said, I
Oh,
wasn't,
okay.
yeah, it was just a
Just
weird
kind of
place.
self-conscious about it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And
So that's all. It's just now, like I said, just shout out to Access Replay and just where I am, and even in the space that I'm in now. I'm just really grateful to be, just able to just do interviews and podcasts and things like this where people actually care about what I have to say and what's going on. So, and thanks.
I,
I saw you even like voted on my poll and everything for the content because I've definitely been, that's definitely been heavy on my, on my
oh
heart.
yeah, man, I'm hungry for some new Renee the G now.
Yeah, I just want
Uh,
to make sure the content is consistent, and it's good.
shoot, but going back to what you said about feeling a little pressure on your videos, so my favorite video for obvious reasons, all day. That one part where your dress magically drops to the ground. I rewound that part a lot. But what did that
Hilarious.
take? What did that take? Because I know you said like just being yourself kind of like made you feel a little awkward on camera. Like what did it take to agree to like do that scene?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. That whole treatment I wrote. So
Oh,
that was
so
that was
you wanted the
that was
dress to magically drop to the floor.
well, yeah, because I was supposed to be putting on another. There was another dress that they barely showed, but it was a beautiful dress. I think whatever angles he had or something, he didn't like it. But I mean, it was like an amazing big like dress, and that was the whole point. Was like it was really originally supposed to be shot at night type of thing, coming
Yeah,
down the stairs with the LED lights. In my mind, that was how it was kind of going. But it was daytime. It was obviously amazing, beautiful house. But even still, it was still kind of like putting that same type of thing. It was like, okay, how do we do this outfit change? Like, how does this even make sense with what we're talking about right now, what we're doing, in the story? And that's pretty much how it made sense. But I wanted it to obviously, you see, like, I still got a Instagram thing where it was like, this is inappropriate. I'm like, it's my legs. Like, I did this the most like prudent way. I guess you can kind of do something to imagery
right.
compared to everybody else. And like you're cutting me off. There's girls literally with their whole cheeks out, but my
Oh, for
legs
sure.
and a dress dropping to the floor is all of a sudden an issue. So hi, bright sun. I don't know if you're still here, but hey.
Oh gosh, yeah, dang man! Shout out to Mark Zuckerberg Muhammad censoring legs. Apparently, I guess
Mark
this is Saudi
Zuckerberg.
Arabia. But anyway, yeah, all day was one of my favorite tracks. Like I said, for obvious reasons, but also, look, there's a lot of songs you make that that do resonate. I remember that Wonderhood song. I think you had a
Yeah,
line where
Dreams
you
of a
was like,
Wonderhood. It
I
was
think
like
it
an
was
eight
like
minute song.
he was like, I feel safe up on my corner. I think that,
Uh-huh.
but I kind of related to that because growing up in Clayton County, like Clayton County, like the representation like preceded it, but to me it was just like, I mean, it's not that bad, folks. I don't know what y'all talking about. But I was like, dang man, that's what's up, man. Someone knows what it's like to feel that
Yeah.
way.
As Pluto Smith said, uh, what did he say? Damn it. Clayco where I stay, ho.
And you know what's it was the it was like another song you had on your SoundCloud. It had like I listened to it just for like that one part because you'd be like, ah, what was it? Oh, it was like I can tell you're lying. I was
Oh,
like,
oh, you know
if
what? I
you
don't even know if
show
it's
some
on.
girl,
I don't even know.
it was like it still sounds like,
No, I
but
was
you
trying to
don't
even
hear
think.
me
I don't
though.
even know. Is it on my SoundCloud or is it on Hustle's SoundCloud?
Could be
Because
on. Oh yeah,
he had it
yeah,
because
it
it
was on
was like
Hustle's.
his
Yeah.
marketing, his mastering sample. But
Okay,
yes,
okay.
that was one. Yeah, that one too. Dang, I need to go ahead and like skirt grab that
You
shit
know,
off.
I mean, I'm just saying, Renee. You know, like you build up some, you start building some flow in the marketing thing, and all of a sudden you be like, hey, I'm gonna release an anthology of like old songs, man.
Yeah, okay, so I want to touch on things in order. Number one, Dreams of a Wonderhood. Yes, I love that song. That was actually after I stopped doing mine, performing the first song I did, I started performing Dreams of a Wonderhood. And it was always great because everyone thought like it was just gonna be a quick song. And it was like 8 minutes long, so they would say one song, but I had a whole damn set on your ass, so that was different to me. But yeah, I love that song. I actually tried to shoot a video to that, and I still have like all the pieces on some random computer that never worked out because I had a
Oh man.
PC and it would like keep crashing every time I tried to edit the video.
Well, you know
Um,
what? Keep trying. Okay, shoot another one. Write
yes,
another one.
but yeah, but the corner thing, it was just the whole thing is for me. You have to think about it like corners on in every. There's a corner in every neighborhood, in every city, in every state that people feel comfortable on,
Hmm.
and that was just kind of the thing. It's just kind of like, yeah, even though it's a dangerous place, like, and
Hmm.
that's just it. I mean, how many of us hang out on Edgewood and then they're like, oh, somebody got shot on Edgewood, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's because so and
Well,
so guy. It's like that's a dangerous place, girl.
right, but it's like, but I'm alright though.
Yeah. So and that's so like you said, yeah, absolutely. And it's just something just it's just our I don't want to say our community, but just people, we just sometimes we have dangerous places and that we find comfort in.
Ah, well, we are definitely approaching the 2 minute warning, and Renee, I have to say,
Oh
one
man.
of the things I really admire about you is like you are an open book of game. Like anyone that's down to listen to you, you're willing to talk to them. And like I learned so much from you just from like, listening to you on other interviews that you've done. Like, hell, you do interviews yourself at the R Bar, I think, don't you?
Yeah.
Or
That last call, yeah.
yeah, so and it's just like, and like I said, you're hosting patchwork events,
Yeah.
so that's what I have to say. I think like I don't know, like what gives you that urge to like give back so much? Because I always seen you doing something to help the city. You know what I mean? Like it's like you give back a lot more than what they pour into you. So it's like
Right.
what's that going on?
Well, one, are we going to continue this after they shut us off? Like, are we going to come back in? Is that what you were saying?
Huh?
Or
Oh
are
oh
we over with? Only because
oh
it's
yeah,
two
wait.
minutes. So if they
Oh
shut
yeah.
us off, it's over with. I was
Oh
just like,
right right
I mean,
right.
like, are we jumping back on?
Oh no no no
Okay,
man.
okay, cool. So I'll make it really quick. I'm a helper. I've always wanted to help. I like find like solace. I love helping other people. And really the information that I have is the same information that I'm learning along the way and I'm using to build myself. So if I can help build other people, it only benefits me. Yes, maybe it looks from the outside that I don't get the support, but obviously people like you and a lot of other people have helped me get into positions that sometimes you have to just ignore that and just keep moving, along. And for instance, like you just said, hopefully with my marketing, working on marketing here, I'll definitely be able to help market myself better, get myself out there, get in more of a consistent run because I think I spent so much time working on these other projects and doing things for other people, but they didn't always align with like how it's going to help benefit my platform later on outside of just saying she helped me. So,
Right.
like I said, I think we're at a great place now. Like I said, so, but yeah, like that's why I want to do it. Like I said, I want to. create a networking book and a couple other books that'll go after that. And like I said, I'm always here to help and talk to people who want to receive good information and great information to help. If you're just trying to ask me just to be nosy, yeah, I'm probably not going to say anything to you and I might walk away, if I
Right.
just don't feel like you're being genuine. But if it's a
Oh,
literal,
okay.
hey, I need help and I
Oh,
want
Zuck's
to
being
know,
nice to us. Cool.
yeah. But it's like, yeah, if you want to help and I want to be, hey, I need help. I need this advice. I know that you know this or whatever, why not? It doesn't hurt me at all.
Well, the scene is definitely lucky to have you. Just, I hope you know that. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan either. But I heard you. I saw you've been throwing Tekken tournaments. Do you
Just
play?
that 1 second. I haven't seen a Tekken one coming back around yet, but so far I know we have coming up Vanguard free play on November 6th. I know I've got a Top Shot thing, but that might be private with the Migas. I don't know. I'm gonna see. I know that we've got another 2K thing also coming up. I know Bobby's World that was in here also is with Zoo Gang Gaming. So I know that, it's Fetty Wap's team. So I know that they'll be a part of that as well. I'm really excited to see what who says he manages Lil Mo amongst other people as well, who he also tuned in. So I'm really excited to see what we actually do here with them. So yeah, we have some really cool things coming up, some private, some public, but yeah, like I said, just, stay tuned. And of course, I'm sure you're on Access Replay or whatever as well. I try to share some of the stories to my page, but not too many because it's a different market, you
Right.
know? So I just try to make
Because
sure
R&B
that
people won't give a fuck. Well, they might.
well, it's
You
not
know.
about it's not about not giving a fuck. It's about this place. You got to think about it. I'm not just an artist. I also know people behind the scenes, and a lot of times people want to be in places, but they don't understand what it takes to get there or what it takes
Right.
to be in that place. And sometimes they take offense instead of just understanding that this just might not be the place. I mean, this is a very huge state of the art place. Like, in order for you to do any events or tournaments or things, you have to come correct. That's just, I don't know any other way to say it, but just understand what it is that you're looking to, ask what service you're looking to, invest in.
Right.
So, just kind of keeping that in mind. So for me, I don't want to post things and now, no offense, but everybody who throws a showcase in Atlanta now thinks that they have the in to Access Replay. You don't. So that's really where it is, and those, like you said, you'll see someone that says, oh, I play Tekken. Oh, I play FIFA. Hey, she posted this gaming thing. That sounds awesome. So yeah, more so gaming. I'll definitely do that because I want to get more artists, more people of color, more black people into the space, just as Access Replay does as well, just as they're doing the HBCU Esports League,
Hey, there we
right
go.
behind us. So, that definitely is the goal, but like I said, when it comes to a lot of like the music side of things, it's almost like, hey, I've reached out to a lot of artists and things in the beginning. And if at some chance you didn't click on and see all the other artists that have been around and doing these shows, I mean, I don't really know, I don't know what else to tell you.
Hmm.
Not paying attention. If you just, all you have to do is look at my bio and click Access Replay, and you can see it there, and you can sign up for whatever showcases as well, or, however. And I think that's just, the side of it that I did have to play, just
Okay.
knowing how people in the industry move and knowing how, or people industry adjacent. I know how
Yeah.
people are industry adjacent move, and a lot of times they try to take advantage of people when they see them in a good position, and I just try to limit that as much as
Hmm.
possible.
Industry adjacent. I'm gonna use that term from now
Yeah, because they're not
on.
like real. There are levels to this, There might be, so there's definitely levels.
All right, Renee,
No
man.
disrespect.
I don't know. I mean, you see, again, given the games, like, see, I'm over here. See, now I know a politically correct thing to call people now. So, I just want to say thank you so much for agreeing to do this podcast with me.
Thank you so much for inviting me. This was great.
All right, people got to see me fangirl out a bit, but that's okay. It's Renee the G. But anywho, please shout yourself out real quick and keep us posted on that book so we can definitely market that.
Absolutely. Once again, my name is Renee Gardner, aka Renee The G. I do want to thank everybody that has tuned in today. It has been really cool seeing people pop in, pop out, say hey, say what's up. From family to friends, people I might have seen yesterday to people who I haven't probably seen in a few years. I really appreciate all of you. I appreciate the SOS podcast and all of the followers and listeners there. Follow me at Renee The G on all of my platforms that I possibly have, that you have access to. And yeah, just stay tuned for more. Listen to Peace of Mind, and just stay
Please
tuned.
listen to that.
Yeah, if you need peace of mind, I got you.
All right. Thanks again, Renee. Peace
No problem.
out.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.